So today I'm working on this new Ram 5500 work truck that came in. And the biggest complaint with the work truck models is they don't have any lumbar support in the seats. So I've unbolted the driver's seat, which was a couple of 15 millimeter headed bolts in the front, a couple of 18 millimeter headed bolts in the back, a couple of plug-ins underneath. And I've got the seat over here on my makeshift workbench. So on the back, there's these little straps that were holding the fabric down. I had to unclip those, flip those around. And then the fabric actually was kind of pulled tight, and then it has this double J hook that was holding the fabric together. So I popped loose the double J hook on each side, and that allows the fabric to flex here in the front, and then hopefully we can stuff this aftermarket lumbar support piece in there. So lumbar support thing we got here, part number, as you can see, 250-1454. I think this is an Amazon purchase or something the other guy ordered. But so yeah, just gonna see if we can a little added lumbar support in the seat here so the guys aren't complaining about their backs. Okay, so as per the instructions, you got to pull back the cover, pull back the foam, and actually insert the bladder in between the springs and the foam that is the back of the seat. So I don't have anything to assist me in doing that today, so I'm gonna unfortunately have to just set the camera down. But yeah, should be able to pull this out, and we push the bladder up inside there. We secure it to the springs. We can zip tie it or clip it or whatever we can do to secure it to the spring so it can't fall down. And then we'll move on to mounting the power unit under the base of the seat here. All right, so I found that by undoing the zipper on the one side here, made it easy to get to the back side of these springs. So the bladder slid up into place, and there's holes in the bladder. You can just simply zip tie that at the top edge to those springs. That'll keep it from sliding down. And now we'll put the seat back together. The hose we've routed down here and around, and we'll get that to the I don't want to call it compressor unit, whatever, the blow up section here that we'll mount on the bottom. So on this seat where the hose comes out, it was going to be really close to the screw right here. So took some 1/4-inch split loom covering to cover that pipe or that tube, so we don't hopefully in the future have issues with it cutting or rubbing through on the screw and the metal bracket of the seat there. And then you can see I did zip tie that tube there. Now we'll place the mounting unit, or mount the unit here, and then figure out the best location on the driver's side plastic here where it's not going to interfere with anything for the switch here. So see if we can pop this plastic off and mark and get the location drilled for that. All right, so I got all my fabric reattached. I got the power unit attached to the bottom there, and now I'm working on the switch. So looks like right here is going to be a good spot on this Ram seat. You can see from the underside, there's really nothing there in the way to inhibit me from putting it right here. The wire can run up and over. It'll be out of the way of the track. We'll get it all tied up nice. So the instructions did come with a template, which I have cut out here with my utility knife. So we're going to line up where that fits best, get that cut out, and just like that. So use the template, marked it to fit, just used my utility knife with a good sharp blade, and after you scored it 2 or 3 times, it cut right through. And just kind of had to do a little extra trimming to get it to fit in there nice and tight, but ended up working out really good. I ran the wires up and over this front pipe and hooked them back together. We'll zip tie those up to the bottom of the springs on the bottom of the seat frame, and then see if we can find a place to tie in the power. Now, a lot of trucks have a factory provisions for a factory power seat wiring already under there. So we'll look for that first and see if that's the case in this truck. Okay, and just as I suspected, and this RAM, this bottom right terminal is a constant 12-volt source. So this is the kind of switch where you could accidentally leave it on and draw the battery dead. It's something that literally, it's a momentary switch, so you have to be pushing it to be drawing power. So I'm going to go ahead and just wire it in to that factory power and ground that's available here on this plug. The bottom left thick black wire being my ground, and the bottom right thick red wire being my 12-volt constant power. So we'll tie our power in there for our lumbar, get our seat bolted back in, and should be good to go. So there it is, installed finally. I don't know if you can see it, but push the button, goes out, hit the release, goes back in, tied into those wires underneath, just like we thought we were gonna. Done.